Have you tried being financially disciplined? Because that has been my life for quite some time. And to be honest, it can be boring. Okay? Slow and boring. I've met people who if they feel like they want to use their voice, they tell me, Koi, you're too strict, Aren't you bored of your life? Aren't you bored of the way things are going? No, I actually got used to it. I kind of like it when it's slow, when things are just calm. I've come to terms with that. Especially when you're practicing financial discipline. Well, I'm here to talk about that. Stay with me. Hi, if this is your first time seeing me, I'm Miss Mithathi and welcome to my channel. Today I want to talk about reasons why financial discipline, or when you're trying to be disciplined financially, it may look like or seem like you're living a very boring kind of lifestyle. Friends, family, people close to you, don't be surprised if they complain about it. I'll give you several reasons why it feels boring and slow and what you can actually do about it. Some of the things I do to, spruce up life a little. Yeah? So I also don't become so dull, or your life doesn't become extremely dull. Okay. So one of the reasons why financial discipline will seem boring, this is because our brains crave surprises. The excitement we get when there's a surprise. So when you're doing something like saving money, there's no excitement there. Okay? Because it gives you predictable results. This is something, if you sit down and do the math, it's predictable. It's not after you finished saving that you'll see the result and be surprised. No, there's no surprise there. But try impulsive spending or bad money habits. The adrenaline and the surprises, well, it's exciting for the moment. These unpredictable rewards, which apparently a lot of people are chasing. For example, a random purchase or an impulse win, those are surprises that our brains love. So this is to say, our brains find surprises very exciting and predictability dull, slow and boring. Another reason financial discipline will look slow and boring is because the rewards come baadaye, later on. Okay? Understand that all this is just mental. Our brain somehow prefers now than later. So when you save, when you start investing, when you start building an emergency fund, the rewards are way much later, not now. And you see now your brain values now. What is happening at this moment? So your brain rewards that future win or that future reward as something meaningless today. So you tend to find it boring. Okay. Another reason that you'll find that will make you feel financial discipline is boring is because there's no audience. Okay. Of course, when you're boring, you won't find a lot of people around you anyway. But let's say you're doing something exciting or something weirdly off. I don't know. All of a sudden you have a lot of eyes on you. There's so many people looking at you. So this can look like, for example, no one sees when you're paying off debt. Maybe you've been stressed for some time because you owe someone or you owe an institution. But now when you decide to be disciplined and you want to pay off this debt, yeah, there's no audience clapping for you. These are things that just happen chini ya maji. When you decide to invest wisely, no one sees, even if they're seeing or no, like they're not seeing any difference right there and then. So it doesn't look like a win. So hakuna kitu ya, there's nothing to make us like, yes, celebrate. Because these things take time. When you're investing, it's not something that is visible at the moment. But when you see, for example, let's say I decide to live here, or you decide to go out and start spending money, you'll attract a lot of attention. Even something as simple as, let's say you decide, today I want to go and buy a very nice car. I promise you, you'll attract attention. From family members to friends, people will notice. It will draw attention to you, unlike paying off debt and investing. When you're investing, saving, building something, it happens alone. So it looks boring, or it feels boring, because there's no one to cheer you on. But don't let that fool you. Another reason is that you're just maintaining, okay? Especially when you're trying to build wealth, when you're trying to build something, when you're investing, it's about to maintain, not building. So that maintaining part makes it look more boring. And this is because prevention, avoiding trouble, always looks like a lot of work, and people don't like that. Because when you're preventing these things, you're for example, if you decide, I want to save a certain amount of money, so I'll stop going out, I'll stop spending however I want, impulse spending. So you prevent all those things. You have to maintain a certain kind of momentum for you to get to where you want, to your goal. So that will look extremely boring, maintaining that momentum. And it can be boring because you feel like it's work. But when you compare it to something like a promotion, chasing a win, that one looks like an adventure. And most people will choose the adventure, not the work, not the chores that you're supposed to do. So people will avoid trouble and chase wins. Okay? Another reason why being financially disciplined seems or looks boring is because it asks you to be passive. A lot of us don't want to be passive. In this life that we are living in, everyone wants to be active. You want to be seen actively doing something. But you see, building wealth, including being financially disciplined, it requires you being passive. Okay? You set it and forget about it. So. One thing I can assure you is it works. But now it makes you a passenger. For example, you're traveling somewhere by plane, by train, by whatever. Once you get into that car, all you can do is just sit and wait until you get to your destination. That looks boring. Like if you're on a plane, all you have to do is sit until you guys land. That's the same as financial discipline. Passivity feels like waiting. And a lot of people don't want to wait. We don't want to wait. You have to decide. This is a decision. Bring yourself to that place. And that's why you can't force people to be financially disciplined. Because it has to come from them. This is not something that you can force someone to do. And let me tell you something. If on that journey, when you're a passenger, if that journey is extremely smooth, like there's no, there's nothing happening, there's nothing exciting or something that will spike up your adrenaline, then it means at the end of the day there's nothing to tell. That makes it boring. That makes that journey boring. Okay, so it makes financial discipline extremely boring, because when you're maintaining, when you're strict, because you know what it is that you want, trust you me, there's no story to tell. And that's why when it comes to storytelling, it flattens your stories. Your stories become boring, because even if someone is listening to you, there's nothing exciting. They're like, let's talk about something else. Good financial habits avoid drama. Problem is, as humans, we love stories that are filled with ups and downs. We want to be emotionally, all over the place. We don't enjoy calmness, which is very sad, because growth happens when things are calm. Yeah. When there's a lot of chaos, nothing will happen. Just like a seed, you plant it in the forest, there's a high chance it will grow. If you put the same seed on a path or something, people are stepping on it, it can be crushed, anything. Don't expect much growth from that place. Okay? And if there's any growth, it's by the grace of God. That's what they say, counting on luck. Building wealth and being financially disciplined has nothing to do with luck. It's about behaviors and decisions that you make. Okay? Accepting that sometimes you have to choose, and whichever path you choose, be ready for the consequences. Okay? East can never be the same as the West. As I said, when you're being financially disciplined, it forces you to wait. And waiting, according to humans, is boring. So don't be surprised if you're trying so much to be financially disciplined. Don't feel bad if people say you're boring or you come across boring. Also, don't feel bad if you yourself sometimes, for example, it's on a weekend and you just decide you want to chill, stay at home, enjoy your own company or the company of your family. It is okay. Okay? Besides, it's not every weekend you need to go out. It's not every amount of money you need to be spending. Remember, if you keep chasing highs, you'll get addicted. And at the end of your days, you'll have nothing saved, nothing invested. Because all you have been doing is chasing the highs. Another reason why financial discipline seems boring is because you don't see yourself as that kind of a person. Like for me, I struggled because I used to think I'm the party kind of person until I started practicing financial discipline. I used to feel this is not me. This is not me. Something is wrong. So that also makes it feel boring. So you may act responsible but still see yourself as someone who wants to spend freely, which is okay. At the end of the day, it is you who's fighting against you. Know how to fight your own demons. Most of the times they come from within, because acting against how you see yourself will obviously create an internal drug. You will not even need people out there to fight with, because you're busy fighting with yourself. And that's why every day you need to remind yourself why you're doing what you're doing. Okay? And that's why sometimes I tell people, there are things I don't even need someone else to tell me, because I'm fighting those things within myself. So you are telling me, addressing me, huh? This external noise, I'll just brush you off. The last reason it feels like boredom is because boredom protects you from fear. Okay? And fear has to do with adrenaline highs. Okay? Truth is, money brings anxiety. Feeling bored is safer than feeling scared, right? So what does your brain do? Your brain numbs you so that you don't have to sit with worry. Now, let me tell you what works to make financial discipline a bit exciting. You can do something like add unpredictability. For example, create a small savings challenge, but of course with random rewards. Okay? So that it can be a little bit different from the other savings or the investments that you do. For example, you can roll a die. Whichever number lands, that's the amount of money that you save or invest. You can do this maybe weekly or monthly. Okay, weekly is more exciting. So you sort of turn it into a game. You roll a die, you drop. Whatever number comes up is whatever you save that week. Is whatever you put aside for an emergency fund. Is whatever you put aside for an investment. And if you hit a goal, you treat yourself. Okay? There's nothing wrong with that. Give yourself a surprise treat. But once you've hit your goal. Okay? This will help you bring back the feeling of maybe I'll win this time. Okay? Maybe I'll win. You can also bring the future win into today or into the now. You can do this by, first of all, start naming your accounts with very nice exotic names. Okay? Exciting names. For example, Freedom Money, Screw This Job Fund, and look at them weekly. Okay? Make sure you print a picture, draw a perfect picture of what it is that you're targeting, what your goal is. Of course, that's how you come up with a name. And this will play as a reminder for what it is that you're saving for or what it is that you're working towards. Make sure you put it somewhere you see it daily so that you never forget. Okay? When you read that name, you'll feel some type of excitement. Another thing you can do is flip your no into yes. How do you do this? Stop saying things like, I can't afford this. Okay? Stop saying that. Say something like, I am choosing, you have to believe it's a choice. You have choices and you decide to choose. I am choosing to put this money or to send this money somewhere that is more powerful. Okay? So focus a lot on the things that you're saying yes to. Be very careful. Okay? This can be things like safety, freedom, options, not what you're refusing. Okay? Another thing you can do, that is if you don't mind, is you can create an audience. Okay? Remember I mentioned one of the reasons it's boring is because there's no one seeing what you're doing or But there's ways you can create an audience. Okay? You can do this by telling one person your goals or what it is that you're working towards. You can also post a chart on your wall if you're at home. Yeah? Or simply nowadays there's apps all over the place. Okay? Use an app that shows your progress. When you encounter a small win, whatever win, make sure you celebrate it with the people you love. Okay? I'm assuming this is a few people. Of course, you can celebrate a small win with like 10 people or 5. You can do it with 1 person or 2 people at most. Just make your progress visible to someone. Okay, that's how you create an audience for yourself. Another thing you can do is turn prevention into pursuit. So this can look like, instead of you saving for emergencies, you can call it something like buying my peace of mind fund. Instead of paying off debt, call it something nice like canceling my future payments forever. So this is you framing it to look like you're moving forward towards something and like just avoiding trouble. Okay, another way you can do this, you can make it more exciting or less boring, is by making it or turning it into an active thing, not precisely passive. So this means you play with your money safely. You can build something like a simple spreadsheet and update it manually. And this is because being the driver feels more exciting than being the passenger. Yeah, because when you're the driver, you can decide to stop for a moment. Yeah, but also there's activity that you're doing when you're driving, and like just being a passenger and you just seated there doing nothing, just waiting. Okay, another thing you can do to excite your financial discipline journey is give your money story some texture. You can do this by setting stretch goals that are hard but possible. So let yourself feel the stress of a challenge. Okay, don't allow everything to just be boring. Allow yourself to feel the tension of a challenge. And this is because, for example, a story with chapters is more exciting than a flat line. Okay, the same way, if you're traveling, let's say you're a passenger, when you make several stops, then it makes the journey more exciting than, like one full ride, no stopover, nothing. That makes it more boring. But when you do small stops, you never know what you'll see. It makes it exciting. Another thing you can do is to change your identity, not just your habits. Okay, start saying, I'm the kind of person who builds wealth. Stop saying, I save more. So this is more like start acting like who you are, not who you wish you could be. This is more like be in the present. And this is because identity naturally, it feels natural. But when you look at it like habits, that's where a lot of people start looking at it as work, and they don't want to feel like it is work. Another thing that can help you excite this process is for you to bring your fears into the open. Stop pushing it or hiding it somewhere, sweeping them under the rug. Ask yourself, what exactly is it that I am so afraid of about money? When it comes to finances, what really scares me? When you find out what it is, name it. Okay? Boredom often lifts when you stop hiding from the real emotions underneath. Okay? So call it out. Name it, call it out. And finally, build in small, frequent rewards. As I said, every time you hit a milestone, do something enjoyable to you that same day. Stop waiting for the weekend. Just stop waiting for who and who to show up. Come through for yourself. Okay? This is something I normally do. You can find me celebrating a milestone on a Tuesday morning. I really don't care what other people, they don't have to get me. They don't have to get me. You can find me on weekends, chilling at home, looking like that boring person. But if I have no milestone I'm celebrating, why do I need to go out and, for me, these things have to make sense. Okay. And if my life has to be slow, calm, and boring, I have to win one way or another. So start training your brain to connect financial wins with immediate good feelings. Okay? If you start showing your brain or training your brain, like every time I acquire something or I achieve my goal, or I finish paying off something, a debt, clearing a debt or something like that, you celebrate or you gift yourself or you do something nice for yourself, you will always want to work towards, improving yourself financially. That's how it stops looking like something boring. But I'll be honest, there's things in life, I'm sure you've heard of the saying, wealth or money doesn't love noise. Okay? So there's just things you'll stop doing the moment you decide you want to practice financial discipline. There's things you'll not entertain. There's places you won't go. Okay? And eventually, some of them call it maturity. You will not be moved by this adrenaline rush. You'll just sit down there, slow, bored, cool. That's what I say on weekends. You guys go out. And tomorrow, Sunday, Monday, you guys will be back on my level. Okay? But for me, I decided I want every day to be the same. I want my Monday to be as exciting as a Friday or a Saturday. Okay? I want to be in control of that. So for me, it doesn't make sense when someone is so excited about Friday night or Saturday night. It doesn't make sense to me. And you want to know why? Because I'm okay. If I can be bored on a Monday, I want to be bored on a Friday night or a Saturday night. Okay? This is an everyday thing. It doesn't just happen on certain days of the week. Okay? It's a path that you've chosen to walk on. And as I said, once you decide something, you stick to it. You be a man or a woman of your own words. You decide, this is my path. I don't care what people will say. You will lose friends. I have lost friends. And another reason, I don't know, but it's still a good reason. With my daughter's medication, there's a lot I cannot afford to do. I have to be financially disciplined because I have to get her medication. She has to get her medication, regardless whether I'm okay or not, whether I'm excited or I'm feeling down, whether I'm in the country, outside the country, she needs to be okay. That forces me to be extremely financially disciplined. A lot of people don't understand that, and I don't even expect them to understand that. Okay? It makes me look boring. Okay? It got to a point in my life, even if I go out, there's a certain time I need to be back home. I want to be disciplined. Okay? And the moment I decided that, there was an impact in my finances. The good kind of impact. So, that communicated to me that I want to do more of this. It got to a point in my life where I prefer the calm, the boring, and the slow. Because to be honest, it comes with peace of mind, and you only entertain people who are real with you. Okay? Whether you like it or not, you'll lose people, you'll lose friends, you lose people especially who prefer this fast kind of life. But remember, don't ever forget why you're doing whatever it is that you're doing. Everyone has a reason why they got to that part of deciding to be financially disciplined. Okay? Someone else's reason is not my reason. Okay? Some people are lucky enough, even when they were children, they were taught these things. Some of us, we learned as tukiwa wakubwa hivi, ndio tumekuja kujua vitu zingine. And then there's people like me. The moment you know something, you start practicing it, especially if it's for your own betterment. Okay? I will be financially disciplined. I don't care if it's boring. I'm okay with it being boring. If someone has a problem with that, there's 7 billion people in the world. 7 or 70, I don't even know. There's plenty people in the world, okay? All you have to do is find your people. Find your people. If you're financially disciplined, find people who are financially disciplined, okay? Because now, if you keep friends who are not financially disciplined, you guys will clash. They will always have some negative thing to say about you or to you. And you don't want that. Okay? You want people who will support you. People who will, even if they see you going the wrong way or drifting, they'll bring you back to your path. People who will not complain about your decisions. People who will understand if you're not leaving tonight, like if you decide you want to stay home, you don't want to spend because you're doing this, they support you. Okay? Don't go surrounding yourself with people who want to be out every weekend. That's how you fall. Okay? That's how you end up not reaching your goals. Or even if you get to your goals, it takes you way longer than it should have. Well, as much as being financially disciplined is boring, it is worth it. Okay? Because let me tell you, the peace of mind that comes with that is not something that you can buy or you can get elsewhere. Okay? Well, I hope this helps someone. Yeah. Please, if you've not, please subscribe, like, comment, share. If you're practicing financial discipline, tell me about it. How is it going for you? Share with us things that you're doing to excite that journey of yours. Okay? We would love to hear from you. Well, that's it for us today. I'm Miss Moikathi, and I'll see you in my next video. Cheers.